Yeah, hello kids. This is Mr. Olaoluwa. So it's been a while, and I'm thankful to have this kind of opportunity to be able to speak with you guys while you are at home having your should we call it lockdown exercised as a good citizen. So I'll first of all say, how are you guys doing? Hope you're all doing very well. Good. I'm also doing fine. So here we are in to share or discuss something, a topic with you in numeracy. And guess what? The topic is on profit and loss. Is on profit and loss. So you'll be learning this in your numeracy to be able to understand some of the things that happen in the market, in the world. So now this is the first fact you need to understand. Everyone in this world works for a living. We all work to make money, to be able to have money in our pockets. Now, some of the work some people do is that they render service to people. They render service to people, like do things for them, and they get paid for it. And wow, there are some people that actually sell things. They sell things like maybe clothes, shoes, electronics, phones, and gadgets, and properties, furnitures. They sell many of these things, but now they sell it in a way for them to have an extra cash with them. Remember, we are driving into the topic profit and loss. Now, when they sell these things, do they sell them in the same price at which they bought them? No. They try to sell these things at a price higher than the price they bought them. Does that look like cheating? No. They are actually trying to render a service to get things for people, to sell it to them, and for that, for the effort, they put an extra price on the commodity or good they are selling, and that is how they make a living. Without that, they won't be able to have extra money with them. So we are driving into where we'll be able to determine if you're having a loss or a profit on whatever you are selling. Now, to do this, there are things we need to consider, and to consider that, we are going into the note properly. Now, profit and loss. Now, we should have it in mind that by the end of this lesson, you must be able to find profit and you must be able to find loss. Now, to be able to find profit or loss on selling a good, you must be able to determine some things first. Now, we should note that another word for profit is gain. Another word for profit is gain. So to be able to find the profit or loss on selling a good, there are some things that need to be determined first. Now, the first thing to determine is cost price. The cost price. The cost price, that is the price by which a good was and can be bought. The price at which a good was or can be bought. That is the cost price. That's one thing you need to determine. Then another thing you need to determine is the selling price. Is the selling price. This is the price at which a good was or is to be sold. This is the price at which a good was or is to be sold. Now, these two things need to be determined before you can find a profit or loss. Now, when do we have profit? When do we say we have profit? Now, when we sell an article or good at a price higher than which it is bought. That is, when the selling price is greater than the cost price, that is the price at which you bought the good, that the price at which you are selling the good is greater than the price at which you bought it, then we say that is a profit. Therefore, the profit to get it will be doing a selling price minus the cost price. That is for profit. Now, when do we have loss? When do we have loss? Now, when we sell an article or good at a price lower than which it is bought. When you sell an article at a price lower than which it is bought, that is when the selling price is less than the cost price. when you sell an article lower than the price at which it is bought, that time, in that situation, we say we have a loss. And therefore, to get the loss, we say cost price minus the selling price. Cost price minus the selling price. Now, we have two examples here. The first one says that suppose I bought a toy for 220 naira and sold it to you for 240 naira. Am I making a profit or a loss? Am I making a profit or a loss? Now, in addition, what is the profit or loss? Now, we should remember that we said for us to be able to know if we have made a profit or a loss, there are things you need to consider. One, what are those things? The price at which a good was and can be bought, and the price at which a good was and is to be sold. So that is what we are going to do in this question. Suppose I bought a toy for 220 naira and sold it for 240 naira. Am I making a profit or a loss? Am I making a profit or a loss? In addition, what is the profit or loss? So now we'll be doing the solution. We'll be showing you how to go about to find the profit or the loss in this solution. Now, the solution to the first question in the example that we have read is this. Now, before we start, we need to determine, are we making a profit or a loss? Now, and to do that, remember what we said is that we need to first consider what the cost price is and what the selling price is. Now, what is the cost price? How much did I buy the article? Now, we should remember that the article, I bought it for 220 naira and I sold it for, which is the selling price, for 240 naira. Now, the next thing we need to do is to compare between the selling price and the cost price. Now, in the selling price and the cost price, which is bigger? The selling price is greater than the cost price. And when we have the selling price greater than the cost price, what does that mean? According to this explanation we've given before, it means, therefore, it is profit. I have made a profit by buying an article for 220 naira and selling it at a price of 240 naira, which is greater than the price I bought it, which is 220 naira. Now, what is my profit value? The profit value would therefore be gotten by the formula we have stated before, which is selling price minus cost price. And what is the selling price? The selling price is 240 naira and the cost price is 220 naira. And what is my profit now? My profit now is 240 minus 220, and that would be 20 naira. Now I have made a profit which I can use to continue my marketing business. I have made an extra amount of money over the money I spent before, which was 220 naira. And that is how a business is done. That is how a sale is done. We all hope to have profit, and which is what I have just gotten here. I have just made a profit. Question says, suppose I bought that same toy for 220 naira and sold it for 210 naira. Am I making a profit or a loss? In this case, I bought the toy for the same price, 220 naira, but I sold it for 210 naira. Am I making a profit or a loss? In addition, what is the profit or loss? What is the profit I'm making or the loss? Whichever one, now we'll be able to firstly remember, for us to determine if we are making a profit or a loss, remember what we said, that we would first determine the cost price, which is the price at which I bought it, and the selling price, the price at which it is sold, and check the relationship between the cost price and the selling price. Now we'll be showing the solution to this question. Now we have read the second question in the example. Now, the second question says that the cost price, I bought it for the same price, the same toy, for 220 naira, and I now sold it for 210 naira. Now, have I made a profit or a loss? We need to check it out. Let's compare between the selling price and the cost price. Let's look at which is bigger, which is smaller. The cost price is greater than the selling price, which means the selling price is less than the cost price. And when we have that situation, it means, therefore, it is loss. I have made a loss in this situation. Situations like this happen. Seriously, situations like this happen most times. Maybe when you buy something and it got spoiled, or is not as good as the time you bought it, or like you bought a fruit and the fruit got spoiled and you don't want to throw it away just like that, but you believe you can still sell it, maybe to people that can feed it to their animals. One way or the other, you can still have some money with you instead of you disposing of it. So what you do here is you still sell, but you have it in mind that you'll be making a loss. Now we need to now determine how much loss am I making over the toy or the article that I bought for 220 naira. Now let's see the loss value. The loss is now going to be the cost price minus the selling price. And what is the cost price? The cost price is 220 naira, which is the amount I bought it, the price at which I bought it. Then the selling price is 210 naira. And 220 naira minus 210 naira, that will be 10 naira. That means I've made a loss of 10 naira. But at least it's still not bad, because I still can have like 210 naira still with me after selling it. I know it's a loss, but it's still better than nothing. So that is how business works. That is how people make their sales, and that is how profit and loss is being determined. So we hope we've been able to understand that in finding our profit and loss, we need to know the cost price, the price you bought a particular good, and the price it is being sold. So, and after this, there'll be a video for you to be able to watch and also to understand better. And after the video, we'll be giving you some questions which you should endeavor you do, so that we'll be having a record of some of your things, and also we'll be giving you notes. So please, keep your fingers crossed. You'll be getting all that along with this video that is being posted. So please enjoy and have a nice time.
Good morning, children. Today we shall learn about profit and loss. In the story, we saw Rahim's shop was very famous for its delicious food. Correct? Everyone loved to eat the tasty samosa, kachori, vegetable sandwich there. So how did Rahim do it? Rahim bought vegetables and bread from the market and made tasty sandwiches from it. He sold the sandwiches to make money, or to earn money. Now the question is, how does Rahim make money? Rahim spends money and then earns it back by selling sandwiches. Next day, he has to buy vegetables, bread again from that money to make more sandwiches. Then, how does he manage to make money for his family, shop, rent, etc.? People say businessmen make profits to be rich. You must have heard it. But what is profit? How to make profit? Let us see how Rahim does his business. Assume someday Rahim buys vegetables spending 50 rupees. For the simplicity, let us assume the money spent in buying bread etc. is included in this. He makes 8 sandwiches from it. He sells each sandwich for 10 rupees. So he earned 10 into 8, which is 80 rupees. If he buys vegetables spending 50 rupees again next day, still few rupees would be remaining with him, isn't it? He would have 80 minus 50 which is 30 rupees. This 30 rupees is for his family. This means he earns an extra 30 rupees every day. Isn't it? Assume someday he couldn't make 50 rupees by selling the sandwiches. He sells only few sandwiches that day, say 5, and that too at lower price for rupees 8 each. So he gets 8 into 5, which is 40 rupees. But the sandwiches will be spoiled by the next day. So if he wishes to buy vegetables of rupees 50 next day, he would need to add some rupees to his previous day earning of 40 rupees to make it 50, isn't it? So he would need to add some money from his savings, and nothing is saved for his family that day. He doesn't want that. Now, can you tell how Rahim can become richer or can take back more money to his home? Is it by making 40 rupees after spending 50 rupees, or by making 80 rupees after spending 50 rupees? Yes, by making 80 rupees after spending 50 rupees. He has an extra 30 rupees for his home. So we can say Rahim is making profit here. So what is this profit? When a businessman makes more money by spending less money, we can say he has made profit. Like in the case of Rahim, he spent 50 rupees, but he made 80 rupees. So he earned 30 rupees, which is his profit. Let us see how Rahim makes profit. Rahim buys some vegetables and it costs him some amount. So we call that price as the cost price. Here the cost price is 50 rupees. Then, using the vegetables, he sells sandwiches to earn money. As he is selling, we can call the price at which he is selling the selling price. The selling price of one sandwich is 10 rupees. So, the selling price of 8 sandwiches is 80 rupees. Rahim makes profit by making 80 rupees after spending 50 rupees. So, we can say we make profit when the selling price is greater than the cost price. We can say he makes 30 rupees extra and that is profit. But how do you get that? Simple. Profit is selling price minus cost price. But if he earns lesser money than the cost price by selling the sandwiches, he wouldn't be able to save money. He would need to add money from his savings to buy vegetables for the next day. Like when he earned only 40 rupees after spending 50 rupees. We can say he made loss. We can say easily that he is 10 rupees short from what he spent. So the loss is 10 rupees. But how did you find that? Yes, simple, by subtraction. Loss is cost price minus selling price. In summary, Rahim has to make profit to be rich. He makes profit when he earns more than what he has spent. So, we can say profit means selling price is greater than the cost price which he spent to buy things. Like Rahim spent 50 rupees to buy the vegetables and earned 80 rupees by selling the sandwiches. made from those vegetables. Here, selling price is 80 and it is greater than the cost price, which is 50. So, he made some profit which he can spend on his family and other needs. If someday he makes lesser money than what he has spent, then we say it is loss. So, loss means cost price is greater than the selling price. Like if someday Rahim earns only 40 rupees by selling the sandwiches and the cost price in which he bought the vegetables is 50 rupees, which is greater than what he earned, then he couldn't even recover what he spent. So he made a loss. Here, cost price 50 is greater than the selling price, which is 40. So we see profit is selling price minus cost price. When Rahim bought vegetables for 50 rupees and made 80 rupees by selling the sandwiches, his profit was 80 minus 50, which is 30 rupees. And what is loss? Well, we subtract the smaller number from the bigger number. When Rahim makes loss, cost price is greater than the selling price. So, loss is equal to cost price minus selling price. Like when Rahim bought vegetables for 50 rupees and managed to earn only 40 rupees by selling the sandwiches, he made loss. Cost price is 50. 50 minus 40, which is the selling price, is 10. So, 10 is the loss. Rahim also made loss when he threw away all the sandwiches as the rat spoiled them and he sold nothing. So his selling price was 0. But he was a nice person. So he decided not to make profit by selling the spoiled sandwiches, risking others' life. Was it a right thing to do? Yes, he did make profit. He actually made a friend, Suhail, and also gained loyal customers. And that's more valuable. Correct, children? Now, if you want to earn more, then these are the simple things like cost price and selling price which will help you. That's all for now. Bye bye, children.